Good evening, children.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
I had texted
Good
you
evening,
that
ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
session only at 7:10, children. Because I have a class before this, which will finish by 7:10. All right. Good evening, children.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, children. Good evening. I think 6 we discussed yesterday, right? NCRT exercise
Yes,
9.1, question
Yes,
number
ma'am.
6. We discussed
Yes,
this
ma'am.
yesterday. All right, yeah. 7, 8, 9 homework, 10th one. Okay. Two poles of equal heights are standing opposite to each other on either sides of the road, which is 80 meters wide. Okay, so there's a road 80 meters wide, 80-meter wide road, 80-meter wide road. Two poles of equal heights. Sorry. Okay, 80-meter wide road. There are two poles of equal height. Two poles of equal height standing on either sides of the road, 80 meters wide, from a point between them on the road. So between need not be exactly in the middle. Between need not be exactly in the middle. Somewhere between them. See, like one person is sitting here, one person is here. There's another person here. If there's a person here, will you not say that, 1 minute. Will you not say that B is between A and C? Is B between A and C or no?
Yes, ma'am.
B is between A and C. B is between A and C. But need not be exactly in the middle, at the midpoint. So that's what it is, from a point between them on the road. So it can be like, say 80 minus what is 35? 45, right? 45. So it can be like this point can be this point here. It can be 45 from here to here. It can be 45 and from here to here it can be 35. In all 80. So that point need not be the midpoint on the road. That's what I'm trying to say. From a point between them on the road, the angles of elevation of the top of the poles are 60 degrees and 30 degrees respectively. So from this point on the road, the top of the two poles are observed. So from this, the observer is here, looks at the top of this pole and also looks at the top of the other pole. From this point on the ground, the top of the two poles are observed. So this is the line of sight. This is the line of sight. This is the line of sight. This is the horizontal angle of elevation. This is the horizontal, or the ground level itself is the horizontal line of sight. This is the line of sight because from here he is looking at the top of the pole, and this is the angle of elevation. The angles of elevation are 30 degrees and 60 degrees. So any side you can mark them, you will get the same answer. Any side you can mark them 60 degrees and 30 degrees. But what you can understand is, if this point is closer to this pole, meaning the farther the point, smaller the elevation. You just imagine you're standing in front of a building. If you go away from the building and look at the top, if you go away from the building and look at the top of the building, the elevation will be small. If you walk closer to the building, as you go closer to the building, the elevation, you have to keep raising your head higher and higher to look at the top of the building. Building, top of the building, you're closer to the building, elevation is more. You're away from the building, elevation is small. So if this point is this point, if it is away from this pole and closer to this pole, if it to whichever pole it is closer, there the elevation will be more. To whichever pole it is a little farther away, the elevation will be less. 30 degrees, 60 degrees are the elevations. Find the height of the poles and the distance and the distances of the point from the poles. Okay, so find the height of the poles. Find the height of the poles. Both the poles are of the same height. I hope we are all listening. Are we listening, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. We need to find the height of the poles. Both the poles are of the same height. And the distances of the point from the poles. That means this distance, the distance of this point and the first pole, the distance of this point on the second pole. You see here? So in this figure, AB and CD represent the equal poles or poles of equal heights. On either side of the road, BC represents the road 80 meters wide. BC represents the road 80 meters wide. AB, one pole. CD, other pole. Height, same height. E is any point on BC. E is any point. It's not the midpoint. It's some point. You should not assume it to be the midpoint. So you should not regard the midpoint. You should take some other point on BC. What is BC? BC is the width of the road. BC is the width of the road. Width of the road. E is any point on the road. From E, the top of the two poles are observed. From E, the top of the two poles are observed. Who can tell me the lines of sight? Which are the two lines of sight?
D and AE, ma'am.
D and A, ma'am.
Yeah, DE and AE. DE and AE are the lines of sight. For DE, which is the horizontal?
Can you repeat, ma'am?
ma'am.
No, for line of sight DE, which is the horizontal?
E, ma'am.
EC. EC. EC is the horizontal. For DE, line of sight, EC is the horizontal. And you can see 30 degrees marked between them. And for AE, line of sight AE, which is the horizontal?
B, ma'am.
BE or EB.
E,
EB or BE. For AE, line of sight. For line of sight AE, BE is the horizontal, and you can see 60 degrees marked between them. And as we discussed, you can see that E is closer to AB. The point E is closer to AB, which means the elevation of the top of the pole AB will be more than the elevation of the top of the pole CD, because we have taken E closer to AB. So from E, you will have to look, you will have to raise your head a little more to look at A than to look at D. Because you're closer to AB. You're closer to AB. E is closer to AB. So from E, you'll have to raise your head a little more to look at A. But you can easily look at D. That's why the elevation is small here. The elevation is more here. The closer you are, the more the elevation. And then you can see, children, we have taken H because same height. You can call C as X. So B will be 80 minus X because the whole thing is 80. BC is 80. BC is 80. You can call any portion as X. The remaining will be 80 minus X. Please start working. We'll discuss the working also. First, you understand Please continue writing, children. I'll just get back in a minute. Yes, children, I'm back. So as we've discussed in several situations, the working part is really easy. There are two triangles. There are two right triangles, one with 30 degrees, the other with 60 degrees. So we have to work with each triangle. In this triangle with 30 degrees, we find tan 30 is, now let me not read this. So we get h by x is equal to 1 by root 3. On cross multiplying, we get x is equal to root 3 h. I told you, you can write x is equal to or h is equal to anything. I have written x is equal to root 3 h. The equation has two unknowns x and h. You cannot find anything. So just write one in terms of the other and leave it there. X is equal to root 3 h. So the next equation also you must write it as x is equal to some expression. And then use the equating method. So in the other triangle, we get h by 80 minus x is equal to root 3. This also you should cross multiply and express it as x is equal to some expression. So when you work with this, you get x is equal to 80 root 3 minus h by root 3. So x is given by this expression in 2. X is given by this expression in 1. Both represent x, so equate them. So root 3 h is equal to 80 root 3. See, root 3 h is equal to 80 root 3 minus h by root 3. Cross multiply. Now you can see when you equate, you can see that the x is gone. You have only h in this equation. In this equation, you have only h. X is gone. X is gone. You have only h in this equation. So solve this and find the value of h. So when you find h is nothing but the height of the two poles. So h is equal to 34.64 meters, which is the height of the pole AB and pole CD. What is x we got? What is x we got? X is equal to 60 meters. When you substitute in 1, see what do we have to find? We have to find h and x and 80 minus x. H we got 34.64. Next we have to find x. How much is x? X is root 3 h. Once you get the value of one variable, one unknown, substitute and get other unknown. The value of the other unknown. So h we got here 34.64. But we know that x is equal to root 3 h. X is equal to root 3 h. Here when you substitute, don't use 34.64. Please use 20 root 3. H is 20 root 3. So 20 root 3 into root 3, which is 60 meters. So x is 60. So from C to E is 60 meters. So then obviously from E to B will be 20 meters. So this point E is located such that it is at a distance of 60 meters from pole CD and 20 meters from pole AB. Once you find the value of h, equating, and once you find the value of h, the next is we have another unknown x. How do you find x? Root 3h. Work that, root 3h, work that. Now for h, don't use 34.64, use 20 root 3. So when you use, you find x is equal to 60. Now what is x? X is nothing but CE. That means this point E is at a distance of 60 meters from pole CD. Then if this is 60, this is 80 minus x. 80 minus 60, 20. So the point E is at a distance of 20 meters from pole AB. That is the answer. Write that in your own words. Point T is at a distance of 60 meters from pole CD and 20 meters from pole AB. If you answer one, that is enough. It's at a distance of 60 meters from pole CD. That itself is enough. Because then, if it is at a distance of 60 meters from pole CD, then it is understood that it is at a distance of 20 meters from pole AB. Your questions, children?
No, ma'am.
Others?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Eleven, is it classwork or homework?
Classwork.
Classwork. Yeah, 11 is classwork. All right. A TV tower. A TV tower stands vertically on a bank of a canal. From a point on the other bank. So see, this is the TV tower. TV tower. A TV tower stands vertically on a bank. So on one bank of a canal. From a point on the other bank, directly opposite to the tower, the angle of elevation on the other bank. So this is one bank. So this is the canal. This is the width of the canal. BD is the width of the canal. BD is the width of the canal. See here, this is the canal. Let's take this point on one bank and this point on the other bank. And at this point, there's a tower, TV tower. There's a TV tower here. This is the width of the canal. This is the width of the canal. This is a point on one bank of the canal. And this is a point on the other bank. On one bank, there's this TV tower. There's this TV tower. From a point on the other bank, directly opposite to the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 60 degrees. So sorry, I made a mistake. I did not read the question. I said BD, it's BC. It's BC. Let me clear it out. See here, children, same thing. I'm just taking the shorter line segment, that's all. This is the width of the canal. This is the width of the canal. This is a point on one bank. This is a point on the other bank. There's a TV tower. From a point, I'm reading here, from a point on the other bank. So say this is one bank, this is the other bank. This is one bank, this is the other bank. This is the width of the canal. This is the width of the canal. Point, these are the 2 points on the bank of the canal. On one bank stands the TV tower. From the other bank, from a point on the other bank, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower. So this is the line of sight. From one bank, you're looking at the top of the tower, which stands on the other bank. The elevation is found to be 60 degrees. So this one is 60 degrees. From another point, 20 meters away from this point, on the line joining this point to the foot of, that means on the same line, on the line joining this point to the foot of the tower. See here. This is the line joining, this is one point. This is one point. And this is the line joining the point to the foot of the tower on the same line. On the same line. On the same line. Let me finish and then you can ask your questions regarding the diagram. This is the point on one bank. This is the line connecting the point on the, this is the line connecting the point and the foot of the tower. On the same line, 20 meters away on the same line. See, from another point 20 meters away from this point, on the line joining this point to the foot of the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 30 degrees. So since the elevation has reduced 20 meters is farther away from the tower. because the elevation is reduced. That means the person is still away from this point from where he measured 60 degrees. So somewhere here. From here again he looks at the top of the TV tower. The elevation is found to be 30 degrees. This distance is 20 meters. This is the point on one bank. This is the point on the other bank. This distance is 20 meters. Now 20 meters away from this point, 1 minute. Let me do it again. Width of the canal, one bank, point on one bank, point on the other bank. At this point stands the TV tower. From this point on the other bank, you're measuring the elevation of the top of the tower. You find it is 60 degrees. This is the line. This is the line. This is the line. This is the line connecting the point on the other bank and the foot of the tower. See here? This is the foot of the tower. This is the point on the other bank. This is the line connecting the foot of the tower and the point on the other bank. This is the line. On the same line, 20 meters away from this point on this line. That's what is mentioned. 20 meters away from this point on this line. Since the elevation is reducing, we have to go away from the tower, TV tower. The elevation is now 30 degrees. So we have to go away from the tower. So 20 meters like this we have to go. From a different point like this, the elevation of the top of the tower is found to be 30 degrees. Is found to be 30 degrees. We need to find the height of the tower and the width of the canal. This one, this width of the canal. Is a figure understood, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is the line. See, please understand this. Something like this, no? Let's understand that very clearly. See here, from another point, 20 meters away from this point. This point is from where 60 degrees is measured. This point is that where 60 degrees is measured, that point. So from another point, 20 meters away from this point is that point from where that 60 degrees is measured. So 20 meters away from this point on the line joining this point to the foot of the tower. This is the line joining this point and the foot of the tower. This is the line. This is the line. So on the same line, 20 meters away. The elevation is 30 degrees. Since the elevation is reduced, we have to go away from the tower. Find the height of the tower and the width of the canal. I'll show you the answer. Please work the answer. We'll discuss the answer. Please work it. Understand it for yourself first. So again, one right triangle in terms x is equal to, we write x in terms of h, another right triangle x in terms of h, equate, find h and then find x. By now we should have got used to the procedure in which we solve to find the values of the unknown. Finished writing, children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Others? Should I wait?
Ma'am, 2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay.
Completed, ma'am.
All right, good.
Yes, ma'am, completed, ma'am.
All right. So this is one triangle, children. This is from one triangle. This is what we get on substituting. And here we have two unknowns, h and x. So we have written x in terms of h. X in terms of h. We work and we write x is equal to in terms of h. This is what we get from the other right triangle. And since here we have written x is equal to something, here also we write x is equal to something. From the first triangle, we have written x is equal to x in terms of h. So we should do the same thing in the second one. You should write x in terms of h. Now, this expression is x. This is also x. So equate these two. Equate these two. H root 3 minus 20 is equal to h by root 3. So yeah, these two terms have h in them. So bring them to the same side. Have them on the same side. So h root 3 minus h root 3 minus h by root 3. have the h terms on the same side. H root 3 transpose minus h by root 3 is equal to 20. Shifted to the other side. So from this, we are solving for h. Now see here, you can see that this equation has only one unknown h. So you have to solve and find the value of h. There are two h. There's one h here in this term, another h in this term. You should see, like if you have 2h minus 5h, 2h minus 5h, then you will write as minus 3h. Same thing here, we are simplifying this. H root 3 minus h by root 3. You should take out h common. You must take out h common. First, there are three terms in the equation. In this equation, there are 1, 2, 3 terms. Of that, 2 terms have h in them. So have them on the same side. H root 3 minus h by root 3 is equal to 20. I hope this is clear. Now to solve for h, you must take out h common. You must take out h common. I forgot to type is equal to 20 here. When you take h common, h into root 3 is h root 3. Then h into 1 by root 3 is h by root 3. Taking h common. So you get h into root 3 minus 1 by root 3 is equal to 20. Is equal to 20. Now here LCM. LCM common denominator is root 3. So root 3 into root 3 is 3. 3 minus 1 by. I have not written the same thing here. I have taken the common denominator. Root 3 is the common denominator, like LCM. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. 3 minus 1 by root 3 is equal to 20. LCM, children, nothing else. How will you take the LCM of 4 minus 1 by 5? What will be the LCM? LCM is 5. 5 4s are 20. 20 minus 1. 20 minus 1, 19 by 5. Like that. Root 3 is the common denominator. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. Minus 1 by root 3 is equal to 20. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining the LCM correctly. You should know that. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. You can see here in the next step. This implies, this is the next step. When I say it implies, it's the next step. You can see h here, and this is 2 by root 3. H into 2 by root 3 is equal to 20. This is one step. This is the other step. We are taking h common as the other step. Then in the bracket, we have root 3 minus 1 by root 3. We are taking the LCM. That's the next step. Then 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 by root 3. H into 2 by root 3 is equal to 20 is the next step. H into 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 by root 3 is equal to 20. Now this 2 by root 3 will go to the other side as root 3 by 2. 2 by root 3 will go to the other side as root 3 by 2. So finally we have h is equal to 20 root 3 by 2. That's nothing but 10 root 3. Now we found h. What is h? H is the height of the tower. Height of the tower we found 10 root 3 meters. Height of the tower we found. Now we have to find the distance, the width of the canal. We need to find this one, which is x. We need to find x. We need to find x. And to find x, you should substitute. You need to substitute. We know that x is equal. You can substitute here or you can substitute here, anywhere, to find x, anywhere. So putting the value of h is equal to 10 root 3 in equation 2. X is equal to h by root 3, but we got h as 10 root 3. So 10 root 3 by root 3. X is equal to h, we got 10 root 3 by root 3, which is 10. So the width of the canal is 10 meters. Working procedure is so similar to most of the other sums. All right. 14th one. 1.2. A test awaits you after we discuss 14, 15 and 16 from NCERT. A test awaits you. Please get ready. How to get ready? When we understand 14, when I explain 14, 15 and 16, make sure that we understood clearly. A 1.2 meter tall girl spots a balloon moving with the wind in a horizontal line. The balloon is moving in a horizontal line. See, the balloon knows it should not change its height from the ground. The balloon is moving in the same horizontal line with the wind. How is it moving? Influence of the wind. A 1.2 meter tall girl spots a balloon moving with the wind in a horizontal line. That is, the balloon is maintaining the same height. Supposing the balloon is flying at a height of 15 meters from the ground, it's maintaining the same 15-meter height and it's flying horizontally. It's moving along the wind. Okay, so it's given there at a height of 88.2 meters from the ground. The balloon is flying at a height of 88.2 meters from the ground. It's maintaining the same height and it's moving. The angle of elevation of the balloon from the eyes of the girl is 1.2 meters tall. The angle of elevation of the balloon from the eyes of the girl at any instant is 60 degrees. So at a point she looks at the balloon, the elevation is 60 degrees. After some time, the elevation reduces to 30. If the elevation is reducing, that means the balloon is going away from her because she's not changing her position. The girl is in the same place. The girl is just standing at the girl is standing because it's not mentioned that she's taking a new position. How do I know, or how do we know that the girl is not changing her position? Because it's not given in the question. So the girl is at the same position. She does not change her position. The balloon is moving with the wind. The balloon takes two different positions. You must understand if at all there are two different positions. If the observer has, initial and final position, or if the object observed has an initial and final position. You must understand. See, there one is the observer, the other is the object observed. One is the observer, the other is the object observed. So either if at all there is a situation like that, either it will be the observer is taking two positions. Observer is taking two positions, the object is in the same place. Or the observer is in the same place, object is taking two new positions. Two positions. So here the girl is fixed. She is standing in one place. The balloon takes two different positions. From her place, she looks at the balloon. First it was 60 degrees. Then the elevation becomes 30 degrees. She is able to see the balloon more easily with less effort because it's going away from her. Earlier, the balloon was a little close to her, so she had to raise her head and see the balloon. Since it's moving with the wind, the balloon is going away from her. So now she's able to see the balloon less, more easily. Because the elevation is reduced, she need not raise her head to see the balloon. Very easily she sees the balloon at an elevation of 30 degrees. Find the distance traveled by the balloon during the interval. All right, so this is the figure. I think in the textbook it is given, but you need to know how to make the figure. Horizontal, the ground level, 1.2 meter tall girl. So let's complete this. 1.2 meter tall girl. This is the ground. This is the ground level. 1.2 meter tall girl. Say the balloon is initially here. So this is the height of the balloon from the ground. This is the height of the balloon from the ground. See why this rectangle is because the ground level is different from the horizontal line. So we're just completing that rectangle. If you feel why, how do you know I should complete the rectangle? Let me not do that first. Let me not do that. So this is the ground level. This is the ground level. This is the 1.2 meter tall girl. And this is the balloon. The balloon is at a height of 88.2 meters from the ground. Now, since this is 1.2, if you complete this one like this, you can make out that this is 1.2. So the remaining portion will be 88.2 minus 1.2, which is 87. For that sake, we complete the rectangle. For that sake, we complete this rectangle. Now, since we know the height of the observer, this is the eye of the observer, and this is the horizontal line. Ground level. Observer 1.2 meters tall. Eye of the observer. Horizontal line. And this is the balloon, which is at a height of 88.2 meters from the ground. But this is 1.2. So the remaining part will be 87. From the eye of the girl to some point on the balloon. From the eye of the girl to some point in the balloon, the elevation is 60 degrees. So this one is 60. Line of sight horizontal 60. The elevation is reducing, so the balloon is not coming here. The balloon is not coming here. It's not coming closer to the girl. Then she has to raise her head and see. No, the elevation will actually increase. If it's coming closer to her, it will increase. No, the elevation has reduced, so it's moved away from the girl. The balloon has moved away from the girl, somewhere here. It's maintaining the same height from the ground, 88.2. So I'm just going to pull this and complete it further. This is 1.2. This one is 87. Balloon, girl. Line of sight. Elevation 30 degrees. This is the figure. And you can see that you have two right triangles where in one right triangle, look at the figure, children. In one right triangle, we have 30 degrees and 87 as a side. So you can find one side which you need. There is a right triangle with angle 30 degrees with an acute angle 30 degrees in it and side 87. One angle, one side known. Find another side. Similarly, another right triangle we have with acute angle 60 degrees. And one side 87. Find the other side. The difference between these two sides is only the distance moved by the balloon. So from one triangle, you can find this length. From the other triangle, you can find this length. This one you can find. The difference will be this one. The difference is this. And that is only the distance moved by the balloon. See, this is the distance moved by the balloon. This is the distance moved by the balloon, which is equal to this, That's all. Please work, children. So this portion is only about explaining the figure. That is going to be your style. This one is just explaining the figure in your own style. So here is from one triangle, another triangle. Subtract both. So that subtraction calculation you should be sure as to how to do. I've shown you all the stages here. You have to ask me any doubt if you don't understand. This is the distance covered by the balloon, AD. That's nothing but BE. That's nothing but BE. Then how to find BE? BE is this full thing CE. This full thing CE minus CB. CE we found from one right triangle. CB we found from the other right triangle. CE minus CB will give us BE. Will give us BE, and BE is nothing but AD, the distance covered by the balloon in the air. First, we have to take out 87 common, then LCM, root 3 is LCM. Then you get 3 minus 1, 2 by root 3. Denominator is root 3. So you should not use 1.732 in the denominator. You should not divide. You should not use the value of root 3, 1.732 in the denominator. Whenever denominator is irrational, we rationalize the denominator. So multiply and divide by root 3. Whenever the denominator is irrational, rationalize it. Multiply and divide by root 3. So then root 3 into root 3 becomes 3. Becomes 3. In the numerator, 87 into 2 into root 3. 87, 2 and root 3. Then you can cancel. Simplification, 87 and 3. 87 and 3. 3 ones are 3, 29 times. 29 2 is 58. 58 root 3. 58 into 1.732, which is 100.456 meters. Is it fine, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fine? Can be yes or no. Both answers are welcome. If yes, good. If no, very good. Should ask your questions. If it is no, then what is the doubt? Okay. A straight highway leads to the foot of a tower. A straight highway. So if you go on the highway, you will land at the foot of a tower. A straight highway leads to the foot of a tower. A man standing at the top of the tower observes a car at an angle of depression of 30 degrees because the car is on the road, it's on the highway. The man is standing on top of the tower. The man is standing on top of the tower. The car is on the road. So the observer is at a higher level and the car, which is observed, is at a lower level. So angle of depression, 30 degrees, which is approaching the foot of the tower with a uniform speed. 6 seconds later, the angle of depression of the car is found to be 60 degrees. 6 seconds later, the depression changes to 60 degrees. Find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from this point. Find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from this point. Let's draw the figure. A straight highway leads to the foot of a tower. This is the tower. This is that straight highway. The straight highway, and that leads to the foot of the tower. This is the tower, foot of the tower, top of the tower. Observer is at the top of the tower. Observer is at the top of the tower. This is that highway, straight highway that leads to the foot of the tower. This is the top of the tower. Observer is at the top of the tower. So this will be the horizontal. This is the horizontal. Car. He sees a car here. He looks down at the car at an angle of depression of 30 degrees. Depression 30 degrees. After 6 seconds, the car takes a new position. Say it comes here. The car comes here after 6 seconds. He looks down. He doesn't change his position. The observer is fixed. The observer is at the top of the tower. He does not change his position. The car takes a new position after 6 seconds. So car was first here. Now it takes this position after 6 seconds. So the line of sight is like this, from the observer to the object observed. And this depression, this one is 60 degrees. This is 60 degrees. So this is 30 degrees. And this is 60 degrees. And this one happens in 6 seconds. In 6 seconds, the car moves from this point to this point. Find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower. This is the foot of the tower. This is the foot of the tower. Find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from this point, meaning from this point, from this point. From here to here, it takes 6 seconds. From this point to the foot of the tower, how long does it take? So you should find the time taken to cover this distance. Must find the time taken to cover, read this. Find the time taken by the car. So you should find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from this point. Highway, tower, observer, car, line of sight, horizontal, depression, 30 degrees. New position of the car after 6 seconds. Observer, same position. Line of sight, depression, 60 degrees. Angle of depression is equal to angle of elevation. From here to here, 6 seconds. From here to here, how many seconds? That's what you'll have to find. From here to here, 6 seconds. From here to here, how long does it take? Is what you have to find. Yeah, that's what the question is about. One thing which you observe here is that we only have angles. So far in all the figures, we'll have 1 or 2 angles along with the length of some line segment. Something will be given, some 20 meters somewhere. There will be the length of a line segment. Some line segment will be the length of some line segment in the triangles will be known to us. It may be some part or a full whatever. But in this figure, you observe that you only have 2 angles, 30 and 60. How can you work? You don't know any side. You need to know angles and at least one side, some line segment. The length of some line segment should be given to you. Nothing is given. How to work? So we have to find distance here. We can't work. We have to find distance here. So what we do is we assume the uniform speed of the car. Because now we know that this distance is covered in 6 seconds. And this distance is what we have to find, t seconds. This is covered in t seconds. 1 second, children. So children, this distance is covered in 6 seconds. The elevation changes, the depression changes from 30 degrees to 60 degrees in 6 seconds. This is in 6 seconds. Please don't work on your own. Listen to me and then you can do it. This distance is covered in t seconds. That's what we have to find. So I've taken it as t seconds. T seconds, time, T seconds. This distance is covered in T seconds, but we know that this distance is covered in 6 seconds. Let the uniform speed be S. Let the uniform speed be S meters per second. Let the uniform speed, because it's given it's approaching with a uniform speed. You can see it in the question. Uniform speed. So let the uniform speed be S meters per second. Now, if I call this A, B, C, D, what is distance AB equal to? Distance AB is equal to speed into time, correct? How do you find distance? How do you find distance? Speed into time.
Speed in the time.
Speed into time. So distance AB is equal to speed S into time 6. Because it's covered in 6 seconds. So 6S meters. 6S meters. So this one is 6S. See, AB is not 6. You cannot use time to meaning a line segment cannot be represented with time. Line segment is length. Length means distance. Distance AB, speed into time, speed S, time 6. 6S meters is the length of the line segment AB. Similarly, we have to find the length of the line segment BC using the same formula, speed into time. The length of the line segment BC is equal to speed into time. Speed, uniform speed S. Time, we don't know, T. So the distance is speed into time, ST meters. This one is ST meters. The distance is ST. Distance BC is equal to ST meters. Speed into time, speed is S, time T seconds, so ST meters. That's all. Now you're good to go. These you have, see, now don't ask me why we are not finding DC. DC is the height of the tower. It's not nothing to do with the car. Now, don't say now why you did not find DC. DC is also a line segment. Let's use speed into time. DC is the tower. The car is, it's got nothing to do with the car. The car is moving on the highway. On the highway, it covers distance AB and distance BC. So that's what we have found here, distance AB and BC, which is relevant to the car. Now, the usual procedure, children. There are two right triangles with angles 30 degrees and 60 degrees. The regular procedure. See the answer here? Okay, I think here I've taken the speed as Sx. Instead of S, I've taken X, that's all. So you have 6x and Tx. I've taken the uniform speed to be X meters per second. Yeah, please work. Distance BC, I made a mistake to find. Should find the time taken to cover the distance BC. Should find time taken.
Ma'am, one doubt. Ma'am,
Yes.
I have done in another method, ma'am, but I have got the same answer.
Yeah. Share your answer on WhatsApp. Let me see.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, I have sent, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, you have used the equating method. I have substituted. That's the difference.
Okay, ma'am.
The idea remains the same, right? Even you have taken the speed and you found where is your assumption? What is it? 6D?
Ma'am, I have took that time is equal to speed by distance, ma'am, and I have took that distance is equal to speed is equal to 16.
What is 6D? Please define D. I thought you've taken that as a speed. Okay, you please give the definition of D. What is D? D means what? Right, that is D distance or D time or D speed?
1 minute.
Okay, so here also we can do by equating method, children, or substitution, anything will work, same idea everywhere. So from one right triangle, we get from one right triangle, that is this right triangle which has 60 degrees, we get h is equal to √3 tx. From the other right triangle, we get 1 by √3 is equal to h by 6x plus tx. Here itself you can take away h and write root 3 tx. Substitution method. That's all. Substitution method. Here itself you can take out this h and write root 3 tx. Substitution method. So I have so here I cross multiplied h is equal to root 3 tx. Then here from the other triangle, this is what we get. I just cross multiplied, that's all. 6x plus tx is equal to root 3h. Here instead of this h, instead of h, root 3 tx, instead of h, root 3 tx. Now 6x plus tx. 6x plus tx, you can take out x common. So 6 plus t in the bracket is equal to root 3. I substituted, I told you instead of h, I wrote root 3 tx. 6x and tx, x is common, 6 plus t in the bracket. Root 3 h, root 3 here. H is nothing but root 3 tx from 1. I should have written from 1 here. Okay. So x is common, 6 plus t is equal to root 3 into h is root 3 tx. So the x and x will get cancelled on both the sides. Okay, where did I cancel it? Maybe next step I've done it. X into 6 plus t is equal to root 3 into root 3 is 3 tx. X and x will get cancelled. So we get 6 plus t is equal to 3t. 3t minus t is 2t. 2t is equal to 6, t is equal to 3. What is the t we assume? Come back here. Let the time taken by the car to move from B to C be t seconds. B to C is t seconds. And we got t as 3. So to cover the distance BC, that the car takes 3 seconds. 3 seconds. For 3 seconds and 6 seconds, we had to do so much of walking. In 3 seconds, it reaches the foot of the tower. This is from one triangle. This is from the other triangle. I cross multiplied. Instead of this h, root 3 tx. Root 3 tx. X is common. 6 plus t is equal to root 3 into, instead of h, root 3 tx. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. 3 tx. X into 6 plus t. X gets cancelled on both the sides. 6 plus t is equal to 3t. 3t minus t is 2t is equal to 6, t is 3. So the time taken to cover the distance BC is equal to 3 seconds. Any questions, children?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Shakti, I asked you, know what is D in your working?
I have to D as distance.
Okay, if you've taken D as distance, then what is 6D? If D is distance, then AB is directly D, right? Why have you taken 6D for that? Okay, and one more question is D is distance. Which distance, AB or BC?
I have took the DC as 6D.
BC. No, what you can just do me a favor. If I have to really, understand what you want, you need to. You've taken 6D and 6 plus T into D. Please define D and also let me know how you got that 6 plus T into D and all that. So it will be clear for me to. It will be fine, easy for me to understand your working. Do that and share it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe after the class. Okay, children, this is the next one. I think with this we finish. Yeah. Be ready for the test. Oh, it's time. Let's make it faster. The angles of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points. No, I can't do it fast. Sorry. The angles of elevation of the top of a tower. The angles of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points at a distance of 4 meters and 9 meters from the base of the tower and in the same straight line with it are complementary. See, so much of information in one sentence. They can break it down, right? So many things, some 4-5 things in one sentence. The angles of elevation. That means 2 angles. We mostly have 2. So angles of elevation. So 2 angles of elevation of a top of a tower. Okay, from 2 different points. So the position or the object observed is the top of the tower from 2 different positions. And the 2 points are at a distance of 4 meters and 9 meters from the base of the tower. The 2 points from where the top of the tower is observed, those 2 points are at a distance of 4 meters and 9 meters from the base of the tower. And in a straight line, that is, the 2 points they lie in the same straight line as from the base of the tower. The tower and these 2 points, they lie on the same straight line. The base of the tower and these 2 points lie on the same straight line. The angles of elevation are complementary. That's the meaning. The angles of elevation, which they are complementary. The angles of elevation are complementary. So we know if say one angle is 10 degrees, if one angle is 10 degrees, the other will be 80 degrees. Complementary. The angles are complementary. If one is 40 degrees, the other is 50 degrees. That means if one angle is theta, the other one is 90 minus theta. Complementary angles. Supplementary angles will be theta and 180 minus theta. Complementary angles. Theta and 90 minus theta. Not theta minus 90. So let's make the figure now. So this is the tower, children. Tower. This is the foot of the tower, or the base of the tower. Let's draw a line. The ground level to the base of the tower. Sorry. Tower. The line through the base of the tower. Let's call the 2 points A and B. Let's call the 2 points A and B. Let's call the tower CD. The foot at the base of the tower and the 2 points, they lie on the same straight line. The base of the tower and the 2 points lie in the same straight line. You can see they lie in the same straight line. This is the top of the tower. Top of the tower. From here, you look at the top of the tower. From the other point, you look at the top of the tower. These are the angles of elevation. If this is theta, this is 90 minus theta. Excuse me. This is the base of the tower. This is 1 point. The distance is 4 meters. This is the base of the tower. This is the other point. The distance is 9 meters. The distance AB is not given. Meaning is not given, meaning AB is the distance between the 2 points. But what is given here is the distance of the base of the tower and the points. This is the base of the tower. This is the base of the tower. This is 1 point. This distance is 4 meters. This is the base of the tower. This is the other point. And that distance is 9 meters. The distance from the base and the 2 points, from the base to 1 point, 4 meters. From the base to the other point, 9 meters. From the base to 1 point, 4 meters. From the base to the other point, 9 meters. The angles of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points. The points are at a distance of 4 and 9 meters from the base. The points are at a distance of 4 and 9 meters from the base. This is 1 point. It's 4 meters from the base. This is the other point. It's 9 meters from the base. This is 1 point. It's at a distance of 4 meters from the base. This is the other point. This is at a distance of 9 meters from the base. I'll read the question again for you. The angles of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points. These 2 points are at a distance of 4 meters and 9 meters from the base of the tower and in the same straight line with it are complementary. The 2 points are in the same straight line as the base of the tower. And the angles of elevation are complementary. The angles of elevation are complementary. Tower, that same straight line on which the base of the tower and the 2 points lie. Tower, this is that straight line on which the 2 points and the base of the tower lie. From this point, okay, and then the distance of this 1 point, the distance of this 1 point from the base is 4. The distance of the other point from the base, this one is 9. The distance of 1 point from the base is 4. The other point from the base is 9. So this one is 5. This one is 5. 9 minus 4, 5. Line of sight, line of sight. Angle of elevation, angle of elevation. You can mark this theta and this one also 90 minus theta. That's fine. Anything. They are complementary. If you add them, they add to 180. If you add them, the sum is 180. Oh, no. If you add them, the sum is 90 degrees. So if one angle is theta, the other is 90 minus theta. Find the, prove that the height of the tower is 6 meters. Yes, children, please start working. I think we don't have time for the test today, so we'll take it up on Friday. I thought we will have. So here, since we need to find the height of, so again the same thing. The two right triangles, we need to take and use tan theta, tan of the acute angle there. Now, I'll share this video with you on trigonometry. We have understood this in trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. Tan 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta, but that is a part of the deleted portions for term 1. But I have shared the video, and I think I don't remember if we worked problems based on it. Let me share the same video with you again. Tan 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta, complementary ratios. Tan 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta. Now your question is how and why. The video will explain why tan 90 minus theta is cot theta. Okay, so tan of this angle, in one triangle, tan of this angle is equal to opposite by adjacent. So h by 4. In this triangle, tan of 90 minus theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. So h by 4 is equal to tan 90 minus theta is cot theta. Cross multiply, you get h is equal to 4 cot theta. The other right triangle, there the angle is theta, tan theta is equal to opposite h by adjacent 9. Be careful, I explained 4 and 9. Which is 4, which is 9, be careful. So h by 9 is equal to tan theta. Cross multiply, h is equal to 9 tan theta. Now don't do equating because you have to find the height of the tower. You need to get h is equal to. You need to get h. When you multiply these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, when you multiply the two equations, you get h into h is equal to, see here, this is one equation, this is the other equation, h is equal to 9 tan theta. 9 tan theta is the other equation. So when you multiply the two equations, h into h is h square. H into h is h square is equal to, see I've written one below the other. I've written them one below the other. H into h is h square. H is equal to 4 cot theta is 1. H is equal to 9 tan theta is the other. H into h is h square. 4 cot theta into 9 tan theta. So see here 4 cot theta into 9 tan theta. Write the two equations one below the other and multiply. H into h is h square. Multiply the LHS, multiply the RHS. H is equal to 4 cot theta is 1. H is equal to 9 tan theta is the other. 9 tan theta is the other one. Multiply both. H into h, h square. 4 into is equal to 4 9s are 36 tan theta into cot theta. That's what you have here. So h square is equal to 36 cot theta into tan theta. Cot theta is nothing but 1 by tan theta into tan theta. They get cancelled. So h square is 36. H is equal to 6. So we proved that h is the height of the tower. which is the height of the tower. So we proved that the height of the tower is 6 meters. Finish writing, children? Still writing?
Completed, ma'am.
Completed.
All right, class, use the emoji, raise your hand. Reshmika, Srinivasan, Tirunesh, Shruti, Hariharan, Priyadarshini, Shakti, Balaharish, Akshayam, Priya, Nivedita, Manasa, Shivani, Sudarshan, Rakshan, Nafi, Harshita, Subiksha, Lakshita, Anish, Muthuvel, Nishita, and Parthavi. But why most of us are not submitting the classwork? Those who submit the classwork promptly can leave the meeting. That's it for today's class, children. Thank you. You may leave the call. Those who do not submit the homework, please stay back and tell me what is the problem in taking the photos and sharing it with me. You're given time to. Yeah, thank you, children.
I totally forgot to submit it, ma'am.
Children,
Thank you, ma'am.
please share it with me. I'll be happy to see your work.
Yeah, ma'am. Today I will share yesterday's portion and today's portion together.
Separately, ma. Separately. Like you can just make a note. Send yesterday's work and say yesterday's and then today's work. Okay, fine.
Sure, ma'am.
All right. Children, don't forget these very important people. Anish,
And today I will send you.
Nafi, Hariharan, you know. I don't know why. Parthavi, are you regular in sharing your work? All right, all of you, please share your work with me on WhatsApp. All right, children, that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. You may leave the call.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, children. Yeah, Priyadarshini also. Do you share your work
Ma'am.
regularly, Priyadarshini?
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday only I didn't post, ma'am, because yesterday I went to temple, ma'am, so that I can't able to share, ma'am.
Fine, Priyadarshini. All right, yeah. Okay, thank you. Good night, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night.